UCC Talk 24. Here on this channel, we're all about the UCC. Public and private rights, giving people information and knowledge to enrich themselves. So today I'm going to be talking about the driver's license, right? And how what they do in traffic stops when they charge you, right? So things like driving without a license and other things, right? That basically it's illegal if you're not in commerce, if you're not operating in commerce at the time they pulled you over. That's the reason why they call it a commercial driver's license. No individual should operate a commercial vehicle, right? So you take the commercial off, it would just be a vehicle, right? Without a valid commercial driver's license, right? An individual operating a motor vehicle may only have one driver's license, right? So we go to this section. We also have a Patreon channel. We have a lot of top-notch information. You guys need to check it out. UCC Talk 24 Patreon. I'm gonna have the link in the description. Right. I'm gonna go into this a little more detail, but I just want to give y'all guys the rundown on how you're being duped with that driver's license, right? Because you have a private right to travel, right? Afforded by the Constitution, right? They cannot impede your right to travel in your private capacity, right? But they're requiring you to have a commercial driver's license if you're driving a commercial vehicle, right? Which is involved in commerce. That's why if you get pulled over and you don't have a license, you have to make sure that they're put on notice that you're not driving a commercial vehicle, right? You're traveling in your private capacity, okay? To lock you up, trap you up with this driver's license, which is a contract, right? And they also, I've learned that they have made a presumption that you're an employee of the driver's license bureau, right? And I'm going to show you that in a minute too, also. All right, an individual issued a commercial driver's license, passed written and driver's test for the operation of a commercial motor vehicle. See how they don't say motor vehicle, right? You got to pay attention to certain words when you read the code and stuff like that. When you read the document, you got to pay attention. You have to get your vocabulary up. Also have we also have a channel on TikTok, UCC Talk 24, right, at TikTok. And we give Black's Law Dictionary terms that you should know. So you need to check that out also. All right. So I'm gonna go down a little bit so you guys understand this is some important stuff. Okay. Okay, the class or type of commercial motor vehicle the individual is authorized to operate under the license or learner's permit. The name of the state that issued the license or learner's permit. Right? So you see how they say commercial driver's license, right? And I'm gonna go to commercial motor vehicles. A commercial, now this is, okay, you gotta read this, okay? So you have to have a commercial license to drive a commercial motor vehicle, okay? Now what's the difference, right? That you have to let them know that you're not an employee, right, of the motor vehicle corporation, right? And that you're acting in your private capacity, right? And you're not dealing in commerce at the present time, and your vehicle is not a commercial vehicle at that time, right? So this is the commercial vehicle. You must have a commercial license to drive a commercial motor vehicle, right? Means a motor vehicle used in commerce, right? You hear that? It's a motor vehicle used in commerce to transport passengers or property that A has a gross vehicle weight rating or gross vehicle weight of at least 26,000 pounds, whichever is greater, or a lesser gross vehicle weight rating or gross vehicle weight the Secretary of Transportation prescribes by regulation, but not less than a gross weight rating of 10,000 pounds. Is designed to transport at least 16 passengers including the driver. So you hear that? you're not driving a vehicle that weighs 26,000 pounds, right, and is less than 10,000 pounds, and it's not a passenger vehicle that carries 16 passengers, right, then technically you're not driving a commercial vehicle. As it says right here, it's telling you what a commercial vehicle, what the definition is when you get a commercial license, because a license, when you get one, is a commercial license, right? The vehicle does not satisfy the weight requirements of subclause A of this chapter. The vehicle is transporting materials listed as hazardous under section 306A of the Comprehensive Environmental Response, right? So they're talking about hazardous materials, right? If the commercial vehicle is carrying hazardous materials, it would be considered a commercial motor vehicle, right? So that's very important to know. Secretary orders, okay, and is not otherwise, okay, hold on, okay, Compensation and Liability Act of 1980, 42 U.S. Code, and is not otherwise regulated by the Secretary or is transporting a consumer commodity or limited quantity of hazardous material as defined. So that's basically telling you if it has the vehicle is carrying hazardous materials, it would mean a commercial vehicle. So this is basically the meaning. So if your vehicle at the time that you get stopped and you don't have any of these criterias, right, they cannot deem your private conveyance. Let's just call it that, right? Your private conveyance, right, cannot be known as a commercial motor vehicle, right? And you don't have to have what you call a commercial license. Okay, so this is very important to know. Also look up Murdoch versus Pennsylvania, right? And you see that under the Constitution, you don't have to follow traffic laws, right? So no individual shall operate a commercial motor vehicle without a valid commercial license in accordance. All right, so that's very important to know. You want to know. See, this is very important that you want to know what a commercial license, right? And you want to know what a commercial motor vehicle is, the definition. Right, and so that'll let you know. So you're driving in your private capacity. I know when I get stopped, I let them know, listen, I'm driving in my private capacity. I'm not acting in commerce, and I'm not an employee, right, of PennDOT. Okay. See something else. It's very important to look up. You see the code. You guys need to definitely check it out, right? Okay, let's just try this out. Limitation of statutory constructions. Right. Okay, this chapter does not affect the authority of the Secretary of Transportation to regulate commercial motor vehicle safety involving motor vehicles. Okay, so look. So this is the difference. See how they got the commercial motor vehicles, right? And motor vehicles is two totally different things. So they're looking at the weight, the gross weight of the vehicle also to give it a rating, right? But we're gonna go to this. We've seen what commercial vehicles, the definition was. Okay, this is the meaning of motor vehicle. Motor vehicle means a vehicle, right? Machine, tractor, trailer, or semi-trailer propelled or drawn by mechanical power, and is used on public streets, roads, or highways, but does not include a vehicle, machine, tractor, trailer, or semi-trailer operated only on a rail line or custom harvesting farm machinery. Okay, so that shows you that there is a difference between a commercial motor vehicle and a vehicle, right? So a motor vehicle, right, when you're driving in your private capacity, is just a vehicle, or it's a machine, right, or a private conveyance, right? So it's very important to know merchant jargon, because that's what you're dealing with, commerce jargon, right? You have to be real hip to that because they really get you on the definitions, right? So you see right here proves that you don't have to have a license to drive a motor vehicle, but they're saying that under the commercial code, right? To drive a commercial motor vehicle, you have to have a commercial license. Okay, so you need to study this code. I'm gonna have some other stuff as it relates to this, going more deep in detail on our Patreon channel, right? So you can stop claims in court and know how to deal with officers, right, when you get pulled over. Okay, because you're not driving in commerce if you're driving in a private capacity. So you have to know the difference between your commercial capacity and private capacity. Now, I'm not saying don't get a license. I'm just saying that you don't need one. If you get caught without one, right, it's not illegal, right? If you have sound mind, right, and good physical health, and you can see properly, right? Okay, so this is UCC Talk 24. Like and subscribe so you can get notifications for other videos. If you ever see value, right, please like and subscribe. Our Patreon channel, as I'm telling you right now, that is has a lot. We have a lot of information on negotiable instruments and how to master your credit profile, right? All right, so please stay tuned for more videos. You guys have a good one out there.